I was 17, young, and naive. For my generation, that was not uncommon. Nowadays, I believe naivety is an appendage that's shut off in the birth canal. At 17, after working in fast food for all of my teenage years, I landed what I deemed a real office job. It didn't matter that it was in a hokey office space housed in this oddball furniture warehouse store where the entrance to the showroom was through the loading dock and you'd have to see the furniture unceremoniously stacked high on racks from top to bottom beforehand. No, what mattered to me was that although I was still behind the counter, I was not wearing my hair pulled back and under some kind of cap or spiderweb contraption, and there was no heavily greased up grill for miles. Heck, my view was that I had climbed up a couple more rungs on the ladder of success and was proud of it. Some of my duties included data entry, customer service, and assisting the salespeople. And I say salespeople to be politically correct. I don't recall any sales ladies at the time. I guess the business was too cutthroat and women hadn't evolved yet. However, one salesman, Sam, who was not your typical dog-eat-dog type, was very amiable. He was a cross between Bob Barker and Ted Baxter. He always wore a suit and tie, many of which were plaid, and a nice smile on his face. Generally, he was never too busy to strike up a conversation. One weeknight, when it was relatively quiet, I answered the phone as was custom. "Good evening, Leon's Furniture, how may I help you?" Mail caller says, "Will you page a customer that's in your store, please?" "Sure," I say. I'm eager to please, happy to be working there and away from a kitchen. "What's the name, please?" Granted, I'm 17, young and naive, and there's no thinking involved, just duty calling, and promptness is a virtue. Slam, I put the caller on hold and quickly take the intercom. "Jack me off, please come to the front desk. Jack me off to the front desk, please." After a couple minutes of waiting for Jack to come, and he doesn't, I give up. Little did I know that the scenario would play out in another arena later on in life. I immediately get back to the caller, who was remarkably still holding. "I'm sorry, he's not here." Weirdly, I could hear laughter in his voice, and he thanks me before hanging up. Shortly after that, Sam approaches the counter with a smile so wide, it would lead you to ask what the winning numbers of his lottery ticket are. "Who did you just page?" Casually, I repeat the name of the person who was obviously not buying a sofa that day. Like any typical red-blooded man would, Sam burst into boisterous laughter. You see, in my head, I saw nothing wrong with a name that spelled Jackmmiaf. I stood there perplexed, zombified, while my brain's activity level switches from floating down the lazy river to heads up, they turned on the wave machine and here come the whitewater rapids. And I feel my face rise several degrees, really, really fast, before a light bulb goes OFF in my head.